Mr. Beneficiary, well, put it this way, he had a beneficiary, but it wasn't who everybody thought it was. It wasn't his spouse. And he passed. His wife went to the cemetery. Then she went to the headstone people who make the gravings on the headstones. And she had on that headstone when he passed, "Rest in peace." When she found out who the beneficiary was, she said, "I want you to add something to it. I want you to put on there, until I get there." All right. So make sure you indicate who your beneficiary is and be prepared for the consequences. All right? Elder Williamson, the mic on?
Yes, Bishop, in addition to the annuity, the insurance aspect of it is still in effect. The 150 for couples and the 115 for single person. Will you make that clear to us?
Let me say this, and I may ask President McMichael to comment on this. You know, this is a very difficult time. I mentioned to the elders the other day, this is going to be a difficult time between now and the General Conference. They are proposing to increase the cost of the insurance. I forget how much it is now, because what they say is that we are in a deficit when it comes to your insurance. And so what they've done with the annuity program, they've taken enough money from the annuity program to pay the difference or the shortfall with the insurance program. And so what they are proposing is to raise the cost of the insurance program to cover the debt. You want to comment on that, Elder McMichael? You're always such a bearer of good news when it comes to this retirement.
Oh, thank you, Bishop. Good morning, everybody. Praise the Lord. The insurance piece is still in the works, but traditionally what has happened in the past is that the Department of Retirement Services would receive the premiums from each district, and they would take the difference, the shortfall, from the 2% that they received from the original Symetra fund. But that 2% that they used to have access to, because of the situation we're in, they no longer have access to. And so now they've run into this dilemma on how to make up the shortfall for those who have not paid their insurance premium. And so there is currently, an audit being done for each Episcopal district to ascertain who has not paid their premiums for the life insurance. And those persons will either have to pay the premiums or be dropped from the plan, the principal life plan. The other thing is to make up the difference from the 2%, because there was a 10% increase from the principal life agency. They are proposing an increase that would be $200 for married couples and $165 for single twice per year. Does that answer, Bishop? And then also, someone asked me a question. The 312 that Bishop mentioned does not include the life insurance piece. So you would need to send, or we need to submit the 312 or more in addition to the life insurance premium when we make our contributions twice per year. Thank you.
All right, any other question on that? Any other question on the annuity, retirement, or insurance? All right. Presiding Elder Haithco, have all the ministers on your district paid the minimum for the annuity? All right. Oh, you just got that. All right, Elder McMichael. All right, Elder Williamson. Stand up, Elder Williamson. Do you know who on your district is not? Why the bishop don't have it? Let me say this, I need it while they're still with us.
You'll have it, Bishop.
Okay, now let me say this, the reason I'm saying again, and the reason I'm so hard on this is for you. Most of our pastors are already underpaid. This is what your local church pays for you. And under the discipline, it's required. And when I heard that less than 25% of our pastors have paid or registered with WestPath, which is the new system, it bothered me, and I'm going to do what the discipline says. The discipline says, if you've not paid that, then I shouldn't give you an appointment. Your approach. Well, he retired already anyway. He never did? Elder Bass, of all the ministers on your district paid their minimum for the retirement? All right. Elder Rome. Elder Rome, do you have a list of those who haven't paid? Write that on a piece of paper and let me have it. All right. Now, Elder Big, I know you just got there, but do you have any record who hadn't? Elder Roberts? Okay, if they just got in, okay. Well, if they just got in, tell them that the first mid-year or the first annual conference, as a pastor, they've got to pay at least a minimum. All right, Elder Brinson.
But other than that, we'll be 100%.
All right, thank you. Yes, Elder McMichael.
Thank you. Just to that point, for all presiding elders, whether you have a transfer, whether you've had a transfer in to your district or newly ordained, the process for life insurance is the same, that you would have them complete an enrollment form, that same information. There are some who have submitted payments, and we had to return the payments because, or I've had to put the payment on hold so that we could get them registered with the department. The online process for WestPath is different from the paper process for life insurance. So there's two actual enrollments so that they'll understand. One enrollment is on paper for the Department of Retirement Services, which covers your life insurance. And then the other registration is for the online registration for WestPath, covering your personal investment, and we also know it as the annuities. Is that clear? Thank you. Thank you, Bishop.
All right, thank you. Any other questions on that? Yes, sir. Come here, this microphone.
On the paper one, Bishop, will that be provided some kind of proof of policy as it relates to the paper?
Elder McMichael?
Yes, after you enroll for the insurance.
The proof of enrollment, so in the past, historically, there was not. We are now in the process of creating confirmation letters. So after your submission of premiums, you will receive through your presiding elder a confirmation of enrollment and what that covers. Now, at the general board, we did receive the handbooks, which delineates everything that is covered in your policy. If you don't have that, if the presiding elders do not have that, I will make sure that I get that distributed to them via email, and then they can forward it to you. But from now on, effective, I believe it's going to be after the mid-year meeting, for every premium that you submit, you will receive through the Department of Retirement Services and Principal Life a confirmation of your premium. Is that clear? Okay. Yes. Send the Principal Life Insurance data? Yes, I will. I'll send it when I get back.
All right, any other question relative to the retirement? All right. Now, the General Conference is approaching. It is August 21 to the 28th, August 21st to the 28th of next year in Columbus, Ohio. The delegates and alternates will be getting forms soon relative to your housing. Relative to your housing. They have not yet told us, who's on the General Conference Commission from here? All right, they've not yet told us what hotel the 6th District will be in. But we need to know as soon as we can how many of our delegates and alternates, first in terms of the alternates, we need to find out how many of our alternates are going. Now, if you've been elected an alternate and you know you're not going, you need to let us know. All right, if you've been elected as an alternate, you need to let us know whether or not you're going to the General Conference. In addition to that, you need to let the delegates as well. We need to know whether you're going to be sharing a room with someone. For example, you may have a delegate and an alternate who decide to share a room. You may have two alternates who decide to share a room. You may have two delegates who decide to share a room. Each Episcopal district will be assigned a certain number of rooms. So in order to know how our rooms will be distributed, we need to know how many are going to be. Now, if you're married and your spouse is coming, then that's one thing. But if you're coming alone, are you going to share? Because if you're sharing, then that lessens the cost for each individual for their housing. So you'll be getting a form soon, and we'll need to know whether you're going to share or whether you're going to have to yourself. All right. Any question on that? All right. In addition to that, by February of next year, we have to have the names of the persons on the committees. All right. And I will submit that. The person who is the administrator for the 6th District is going to be Brother Gabe Cloud. Now, he will not be picking who's going on the committees. Bishop will do that, but he will see that the General Secretary's office has a list of the committees that you will be assigned to. And you will probably get, not probably, you will get in the mail within the next month a list of the committees for the General Conference, and they will ask you to list in your first, second, and third order what committee you would like to serve on. All right? List first, second, and third what committee you would like to serve on. And I'll ask you to fill that out and return that to us. In addition to that, if you have not received it already, you will receive a form which will have all of your contact information. It will have your name, your address, your email, your telephone number. We will need that also to provide to the Secretary's office, but we also need that for the 6th District and putting together our delegation. So when you get that, please fill it out and send it back in. Please fill it out and send it back in. You know, sometimes people jump up, well, I didn't get the notification. Well, if you didn't give us the email, we didn't send you the notification. And don't presume that because you have a title that we automatically have your email. So just provide us your name, your address, your email, and your telephone. Any question on that? Any question on that? All right. The 6th District Delegation will meet, have several meetings. No date has been set yet, but one meeting, the first meeting for the delegation will probably be at the mid-year meeting in October. Good morning, Supervisor. Good morning, Reverend Gordon. See how he did that? Thank you, Dr. Gordon. All right. The first meeting will probably be at the mid-year meeting in October. And where's the mid-year meeting at? In Valdosta. All right. Any question on that? All right. Ms. Brown, you had that information? Ms. Arnella's agenda? Okay, thank you. All right, now we will be forming a legislative task force. We will be organizing a legislative task force, which would deal with putting together proposed legislation for the General Conference. I'm going to ask the following persons and we will probably have during the mid-year meeting a legislative session for those who would like to proposed legislation. And let me say, one of the things I'm asking the committee to do is to review the legislation because, some people, and they mean well, but they come up with legislation which is not going to see the light of day. And I don't want us debating legislation which isn't going anywhere. For example, the last General Conference, there were several pieces of legislation. One, for example, had legislation that lay people would be members of the Board of Examiners. That's not going anywhere. Now, lay people can be consultants, depending upon their vocation, and therefore the Board of Examiners ought to have people come in with expertise in a particular area to teach or at least hold a session. All right? But there's a difference between being a consultant to the Board of Examiners and being a member of the Board of Examiners. Likewise, there was a legislation that lay people would be members of the Board of Ministerial Efficiency. That's not going anywhere. Lay people are not your peers. All right? Any question of the persons I'm appointing? Presiding Elder Joseph Baker as the chair, and I'm proposing as the co-chairs Sister Alfreda Brooks, Dr. Kevin Moore, and Ms. Gloria Bird. Dr. Moore, you agree to serve? Yes, sir. All right, Ms. Bird here. All right. Sister Brooks. Presiding Elder Baker. I figured I'd ask y'all in public, y'all wouldn't say no. All right. Thank you so very much. All right. Now, my brothers, my sisters, let me do a couple of things. Presiding Elder, Ms. Brown, come here, please. What's the name of the church in Sandersville? Elder McFadden here. Presiding Elder McFadden. All right. Presiding Elder Haithco. Is Reverend Nance here? All right, good. Stay right there, Reverend Nance. I'm coming to you. Elder Williamson. Now, my brothers and sisters, let me tell you some problems I'm having. Let me tell you some problems I'm having. First, as relates to the ministers, when you entered the ministry, you were asked to provide your date of birth. I went to the Department of Retirement Services. Went to the Department of Retirement Services. One of the reasons why we're having a major problem now with retirement services, the Department of Retirement Services hired an actuary. The actuary is supposed to give to us how many people are retiring each year and how much it will cost the church per year to pay them what they are due when they retire. For example, if somebody is retiring and they have $250,000 in their annuity fund, it lets us know how much it will come to. For example, it may come to $4 million one year, $2.5 million another year, but that's what the actuary is for. Now, we had a long time getting a correct actuary report. And let me just be honest and say it like I want to say it. One of the reasons why it took so long is because some of us lied. Now, you know when you were born. A lot of us turned in erroneous dates for our birth. And so therefore, it's not possible, it was not possible for the actuary to give us a correct count because we did not give the actuary correct information. We have here in the 6th District some of us who turned in the wrong date of our birth. That doesn't happen by accident. I've got a couple of situations in Georgia of people who gave the wrong birth date. But I'm going to correct it soon and very soon. The law is I cannot give you an appointment when you reach the age of 75. So we're going to be sending out another form for you to fill out so we can have the correct information. And somebody may be asking, well, how did y'all get the correct information? The state has records of when you were born. Every single one of us, when we were born. I know I was born April 26, 1954. That hadn't changed. Now, we have a bishop, he's deceased now, but we had a bishop served a very long time because his birthday kept changing. Finally, he got retired. And when he retired, he made this statement. Well, I don't have to lie no more. All right? So we're going to send out the form, but I'm going to have us check with the state's records on every one of them to make sure we have the correct date of birth. All right, that's number one. Number two, I'm spending more time with lawyers than I am with preachers. Now, brothers and sisters, let me say this, and this is why if you are elected in your church as a local church trustee, then at least you ought to know what you've been elected to. Now, I say it over and over. And I'm going to ask the lay organization to go over this at every meeting you have. When you get elected a trustee for the local church, you are entrusted to protect that property on behalf of the connectional church. On behalf of the connectional church. I'm getting a whole lot of crap about people who want to leave the church and believe the property is theirs. You are a trustee to protect the property on behalf of the connectional church. Nothing has changed on that since you got elected. Now, the 6th district is already taking some people to court. That's why we ask for a copy of the deed for every church. And I'm not hard to get along with. Believe me, I'm not. But there's some things I become, well, we got young people in here, I can't say it. But anyhow, for example, we have a church where a pastor retired. The roof fell in or something at the church. The insurance company sent the church the money to fix the roof. Pastor retired. The folk took the check, deposited, and then wrote out a check for every member in the church. First of all, that's criminal. And I'm going to encourage the insurance company to prosecute. Secondly, the 6th district is going to prosecute. And when the pastor retired, they decided, well, we're not the church no more. And so I've sent them a pastor, unaware of all this that was happening. And I just got a text from the pastor looking for a check for their salary. Because the folk haven't showed up. They took the church furniture and all of that. We are going to prosecute. Period. We have some churches which, if you're a member of a church, you have every right to withdraw. That's your right. But understand, you are a member of the church. You are not the church. And so I had to tell them, well, you can go, but the property's ours. What you mean, Bishop? Look at the deed. The deed says the grantee is the name of that church. And so if you want to go to court over it, we'll meet you in court. If you want the property, you're going to pay us for it. Now, you know the United Methodist Church just recently split up over an issue that we're going to have to deal with at the General Conference, I'm sure. But in order to leave the United Methodist Church, the people in that congregation had to pay the United Methodist Church to leave. And when you say pay to leave, they mean for the property. If that church is worth $2 million, the folk who wanted to leave had to pay the United Methodist Church $2 million. So if you want to leave us, that's your right. But if you want the property, you're going to have to pay us. Any question on that? So pastors, when you elect your trustees, they need to understand they are elected trustees to protect and care for that property on behalf of the connectional church. If you are elected a conference trustee, you are elected to protect the property of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. It's not us's church. Any question on that? All right. Now, my brothers and my sisters, let me do this quickly. Now, I've got to catch a plane I'm going to leave to go catch a plane at 1 o'clock today. To fly to Nashville. Tonight they have a dinner honoring Dr. Richard Allen Lewis, who was the treasurer of the church for a number of years in Nashville. And tomorrow, the homegoing celebration for Dr. Sylvia Ross Talbot, who served as the supervisor of the 6th District for 8 years. And so I'm going to get out of here at 1 o'clock when the service is over. So let me say to everybody now, I'm so happy to have seen you, and I'm going to see you down the road, or up the road, or around the corner, or across the bridge, somewhere. And I'm not going to say around God's throne, but somewhere. All right? All right. Supervisor, you want to say a word? Somebody hit the microphone right here.
Good morning. So after today's session, the Women's Missionary Society and any interested bystanders, supporters, are going to meet at Bethel A.M.E. Church. And where I had prepared comments before coming to Augusta, given this week's wonderful gathering, I had to regroup. So last night, after an extraordinary concert, thank you, Reverend Higgins, for your good work, and of course, Regina. Thank you. Yes, they should be congratulated. I thought about the energy that the young people and the focus that we spent on the young people, bringing us together for a new, renewed spirit. And how I pray that we take that spirit back to our individual churches. The Women's Missionary Society is embarking on a New Day Quad. It's our first gathering post-pandemic. And we have 4 worthy candidates that we will come back with the reward of their leadership having been recognized. Joyce Johnson will be the next connectional YPD president of the A.M.E. Church worldwide. Michael Webb will be our next connectional worship leader. And we are praying for Janita Ferguson and Lisa Johnson Wiggum. And I need to hold them up differently because they have opponents, but it is their time for leadership. Lisa Johnson Wiggum did something extraordinary that may or may not be recognized. So I'm counting on the supporters here sharing on top of the mountain that she, through her efforts, is having the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is coming to address the Connectional Women's Missionary Society. That's our 6th district, Lisa Johnson Wiggum. Now, Lisa is a quiet warrior and doesn't sing her own praises. But trust and believe, I will be. When I land in Orlando, I'm coming back. I'm coming back with Lisa in connectional leadership because she is worthy, and it is her time. I'm having a Fannie Lou Hamer moment. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of not moving forward in this WMS. We know what the issues are. We're just afraid. We're afraid because of some nepotism, some traditions that need to be uncovered, unmasked, and laid bare. It's our time. If nothing else, these young people deserve the leadership of a new day. So we are going to Orlando, Florida, not my favorite place, but we are going to leave Florida with them understanding that these young people deserve our voices with courage and with power. So trust and believe, because as he said in the movie American President, I am Christy Davis Jackson, Esquire, the supervisor of the 6th Episcopal District. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Supervisor. Thank you. All right, now, brothers and sisters, let me do this real quick. There are some administrative appointments I want to make right now. Southwest Conference, I'm appointing as the chair of the Board of Examiners, Reverend Ernest Gordon. Chair of the Finance Committee, Reverend Brian Hart. President of MSWAWO, Mrs. Tara Harris. The Georgia Conference, Chair of the Finance Committee, Reverend Carson Holloman. Member of the Board of Examiners and member of the Conference Trustees, Reverend Carson Holloman. Macon Conference, member of the Finance Committee, Reverend Conrad Barnett. Member of the Conference Trustees, Reverend Conrad Barnett. The Atlanta North Georgia Conference, member of the Board of Examiners, member of the Conference Trustees, Dr. Anton Elwood. All right, our Episcopal District appointments. Well, I just did that with the Legislative Task Force. All right, let me do a couple of appointments here. Rosalind Turner here. All right, now Rosalind Turner, we're going to send this to you because I haven't written it up yet. The certified Reverend Rosalind Turner is transferred from the Atlanta North Georgia Conference to the Augusta Conference and assigned to St. Paul Sandersville. All right. This is the Reverend James Nance. The certified of the Reverend James Nance is transferred from the Macon Conference to the Southwest Conference and assigned to Bethel Montezuma. All right. Reverend Willie Wynn, please stand. The certified Reverend Willie Wynn is transferred from the Atlanta North Georgia Conference to the Georgia Conference, and this is a temporary appointment. All right, this will change at the mid-year meeting. Greater Bethel in Rincon. All right, and you all will get those in the mail this week. All right. Where's Reverend Selena Clark? Selena Clark here? All right, now Selena Clark was the one who was assigned to the church where they gave all the members checks and all that kind of stuff. Reverend Clark, I'm gonna have you walk with the bishop, and we'll deal with you a stipend until the mid-year when we can arrange assignment for you. And sorry that you went to something that nobody knew was happening. They didn't even leave you a chair to sit down on, did they? That's pitiful. All right. Now, brothers and sisters, that's all I need to do. We need to have the conference, the Finance Committee report. With my Finance Committee? Yes, sir. Reverend Gordon. He says he wants to thank us for appointing him as the chair of the Board of Examiners for the Southwest Conference. He looks forward to working with the presiding elders. And Reverend Gordon, I want you to know I asked for recommendations and they glowingly recommended you. And so I just sense, well, it's glowing like that, I'll go with the glow. All right, all right. Now, this is the Reverend Mavis Brown. Nobody recognized her when she came in here this week. I said, great day. All right, go right on ahead.
To Bishop Jackson, Supervisor Chrissy Davis Jackson, Esquire, to Presiding Elder Brinson and the Presiding Elder Council, to the host pastor, Pastor Augusta Hall, the host Presiding Elder Haywood White, the Associate Presiding Elder, the Reverend Tony Beelam Ingram, to all of the pastors and laity that make up this 6th Episcopal District. Here and now is the finance report for July the 11th through the 14th, 2023. The South Conference, Albany North, registration $11,500, offering $4,600 for a total of $16,100. The Donaldsonville West, registration $2,120, offering $2,010 for a total of $4,130. Valdosta South, registration $12,000, offering $5,000 for a total of $17,000. Southwest Conference, the Eastern District, registration $10,000, offering $4,000, total $14,000. Central District, registration $5,000, offering $1,800 for a total of $6,800. The Old Georgia Conference, Savannah North, registration $8,500, offering $3,400 for a total of $11,900. Savannah South, registration $11,000, offering $4,400 for a total of $15,400. Savannah Central, registration $7,600, offering $4,000 for a total of $11,600. The Augusta Conference, Augusta North, registration $4,750, offering $3,800 for a total of $8,550. Augusta South, registration $8,500, offering $3,400 for a total of $11,900. The Macon Conference, Macon North, registration $10,000, offering $4,000 for a total of $14,000. Macon South, registration $10,000, offering $4,000 for a total of $14,000. Macon East, registration $13,000, offering $5,200 for a total of $18,200. The Atlanta Conference, North Atlanta, registration $8,900, offering $4,000 for a total of $12,900. South Atlanta registration $11,284, offering $4,525 for a total of $15,809. East Atlanta registration $12,100, offering $4,400 for a total of $16,500. West Atlanta registration $6,050, offering $3,200 for a total of $9,250. Total funds registration $152,304, offering $65,735 for a total of $218,039. Vendors $300, offering and ministries gift of missions for Tuesday evening $693.50. Worship and giving $1,322 for a total of $2,015.50. Wednesday worship and giving $1,519.26 for a total of $1,519.26. Wednesday evening gifts of mission $702.31. Worship and giving $1,189 for a total of $1,990.31 for a total of the online offerings $4,190.08 for a total of $11,391.60. Components lay $5,000 for a total for components $5,000. Total number of registration 2,505. Recapitulation total funds received $234,730.60. Total funds dispersed $234,730.60 for net funds for the meeting $0. Bishop, this ends the finance report.
You heard the report of the Finance Committee. What's the pleasure of the body?
Motion to adopt, Bishop.
Probably moving second. Are you ready for the question? All in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. Let me thank the committee, our chairperson, and our accountant, Dr. Foster, treasurer, Dr. Hudson, and Assistant Reverend Augusta Hall. Let me thank you. Give them a hand.
Bishop, on behalf of the finance team, we want to thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Thank you for serving. All right.
Bishop, if I may, I know you have to leave. Very quickly, let me ask all of the members, pastors and laity of the Augusta, Georgia Annual Conference to please stand wherever you are very quickly. And while they are standing, Bishop, first of all, on behalf of the good people of Bethel A.M.E. Church here in Augusta and the presiding elder, L. Haywood White, and the Augusta South District, and presiding elder Tony Beeland Ingram of the Augusta North, and all of the laity that make up the Augusta Conference, we want to thank you for the opportunity to host this meeting, and thank you also for the way in which you have conducted it with such a kind heart, gentle disposition, and Episcopal leadership. We say thank you. God bless our bishop. May this body give our bishop a big hand. Bishop and Supervisor Christy Davis Jackson. God bless the bishop.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hall. Thank you so much, 6th District.
Bishop.
Yes, sir, Dr. Hayward White.
Yes, I'm having to follow Dr. Hall again. First, we want to say to Bishop Jackson, Supervisor Christy Davis Jackson, Esquire, to pastors and clergy, I would like to have all of the presiding elders to stand. To all of the component leadership, all inclusive, to the total constituency of the 6th Episcopal District and the state of Georgia. We want to thank God for you and Supervisor. I stand today at the urging of my president of the council, Reverend Patrick Brinson, asked me if I would give these words of thanks and commendations. So we thank you, and we thank God for you and Supervisor Jackson. Thank you for your godly leadership. Thank you for the 6th District Christian Education Leadership Congress. Thank you for the dunamis and superlative way that you have led us through this conference. We believe that the sweet, soul-saving South will not only thrive, but it will emerge from where we were to where God would have us to be. God bless you. May he keep you is our prayers.
All right, thank you so much, elders. Thank you.
Bishop,
Dr. Moore.
would all of the pastors in the 6th District please stand? All of the pastors in the 6th District please stand. Bishop, we want to thank you so much for doing such an excellent and wonderful job of hosting and holding this meeting here in Augusta, Georgia. We also want to thank Pastor Hall and the Bethel family and everyone who had a hand in making this a success. We truly had a wonderful and awesome time in Augusta, Georgia. Bishop, thank you for your visionary leadership, and we look forward to what God has in store for you in the future. God bless you. Let's give him a round of applause for doing such a wonderful job.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moore, and all the
Bishop,
pastors.
Bishop, C.J. Holloman speaking. Just want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for seeing something in me that I didn't even see in myself. Thank you again. Love the appointment. Looking forward to doing great things. The best is yet to come.
Thank you, Dr. Holloman. Yes, sir, Sister Alfreda Brooks.
Will all laity please stand?
Oh, my Lord.
Well, all the laity, if you're not an ordained minister, you are part of the lay organization. A lay, all lay. Bishop is with extreme gladness and rejoice to be able to stand at this time and thank you for your leadership. Not only have you been a constant advisor, but you are truly a bishop who believes in the laity. We appreciate all that you've done for us, even in Chicago. We thank you for your leadership. We thank you for allowing us to participate in this Christian education. It is one of them that I know that we all have enjoyed and we will talk about for years to come. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and to be a part of the 6th Episcopal District.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let me commend the lay for the way you carried on in Chicago. Y'all did a marvel. I was very proud for the 6th District lay. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Reverend Brian Hart.
Yeah, bless you, Bishop. A lot of positive things have transpired this week, but for me, what goes to the top, I want to give kudos to your audiovisual staff for taking under their wings these young people, putting them into service, training them, and making them a part. And for that, I say praise God and thank you and your audiovisual team.
Y'all taking my closing remarks from me. Go ahead, Elder Haithco.
Thank you, Bishop. I'm changing hats, and on behalf of the Christian Education Department, I want to thank the Reverend Dr. Garland Higgins for the great work that she has done. Amen. Definitely want to thank your daughter and your staff because they did a wonderful job putting all this together. The concert was great. Reverend Hart took some of my thunder because we were so proud to see all of our young people participating in song and dance, collecting the offering, and being a greater part of the Congress. And so we just want to say thank you, Bishop, for allowing us to emerge. And God bless.
Thank you. Yes, sir, Reverend Alexander.
Bishop Jackson and I agree with all these accolades. I stand for a point of personal privilege. May I approach?
Yes. Come up that way. Yes, Dr. McDonald.
Bishop, I just want to thank you for continuously supporting the SHIFT program as we are working towards and moving and supporting our pastors. We had 2 amazing sessions. One session being on our Enneagrams, our personality tests, and working through all of that. And then a second session focusing on transitioning from church to church, transitioning from active ministry to retirement. And so thank you, Bishop, for the opportunity to do so, and we look forward to working through Christian education and providing even more support for our pastors.
Brother Petway, thank you, Doctor.
Yes, on behalf of the young adults of the 6th Episcopal District, I stand to thank the leadership team for providing a space for the young adults to just be. If you've noticed, young adults have been on program throughout the services. And so we just thank our leadership team for giving the young adults in the 6th Episcopal District a voice and allowing us to do the work and to participate and to be seen. Throughout the African Methodism, that's not the case in a lot of districts, but here in the state of Georgia, we have a great bishop, and so we thank you for allowing the young adults to just be in this space. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you so much. All right. Now, let me do a couple things real quick. I was waiting for somebody to come in, so they came in. Let me do this. Reverend Sarita Holman, will you please stand? All right. I'm announcing that I am appointing Sarita Holman as the co-pastor of First A.M.E. Church in Athens. All right. God bless you and your husband. Yeah. Help him. He needs a lot of help. That's my friend Shakibi. All right. And is Reverend Lyndon Ford here? Did the certify that the Reverend Lyndon Ford is transferred from the Atlanta North Georgia Conference to the Augusta Conference and assigned at Bethel Norcross. All right. God bless you. All right. Now I see here the Reverend Orlando McCauley from South Carolina. Reverend McCauley, come on up and tell us what you want us to do. He aspires for Episcopal service. I've known him for a while. He is an outstanding young man, originally from the 14th Episcopal District, and really made a lot of sacrifices and his life in the 14th, and we're happy to have you over here safe and serving well. Go ahead and press your case.
Thank you, Bishop. Good morning, 6th District. Please don't stop seeing me. I love your bishop, and to our Episcopal supervisor, to the cadre of elders, to my fellow brothers and sisters who bear the yoke of serving God's church, one of God's greatest gifts on the planet called Earth, African Methodist Episcopal Church, to the illustrious bishop whom I've known for quite a long time. My brothers and sisters, I come here because I know your bishop is a great leader, one whose leadership is great to emulate. And I just come to ask you for your prayer, your support, and most importantly, your consideration as a candidate for Episcopal service. Yes, this past couple of days, I was in Hampton, Virginia, and I visited the 2nd District. And when I sat and saw the work that is being done, similar to what this bishop does, I have always advocated that the AME Church needs leaders that are visionary, foresight, willing to take the church from another level to the place where it becomes self-reliant, self-sufficient, and not dependent upon the local church. So my campaign rating has been about a three-tier, an ABC factor. A for ascendancy, taking the church to another level. And I contend that we can use innovation, utilizing innovation as our way to bringing young people and millennials back to the table of decision making. Most of our programs are antiquated for their perspective because we want them to execute program and not necessarily to be a part of the planning process. B is to bring the church to a place where we build on the legacy that defines us as a connection to church. And if we're going to be true about the matter, millennials are leaving our church because they feel that we are not employing them, and I'm glad our brother stood us and commended this bishop. You don't find that across the connection. I've been privileged to serve this church for 30 years as a pastor. The last 6 years I've been at the church in Hickman, South Carolina, outside of Florence, South Carolina, where I've been there for 6 years, made a mortgage of $250,000 paid off in 18 months, got a 501c3, led a charge to bring a coalition of black and white congregations together to elect the first black sheriff since Reconstruction. But until we get leaders who have innovation, we will not move the church after 200 years. We will still be like the Israelites who are in the quagmire until they get to a place where everybody becomes the solution. The Liz Smiley who ran for bishopric in the 7th District, all we have is a saying. He said, if you get somebody as big as this structure, they will downsize it to their ability. In the same token, you can give the same structure as big as it is, and other people will expand it. That's the kind of ministry I've always had. Whatever I pastor church as a 5-member congregation, who was my first church, within 18 months, we were able to raise it up to become the number 4 church on the presiding elder district. So I already have ministry that I'm passionate about, because until we change the lives of our people, the A.M.E. Church, after 200 years, we will still be the same congregation. So I want not only to build on the legacy that defined us, but we got to find new way to fund this church. And what I mean is that we have to invest into infrastructure. And that's what I saw in this leadership that you have here. And I don't want to be political, but I think it would be great if you would endorse me to give your bishop a hand of applause, because I have followed his ministry for quite a long time. And number 3, to make the church connectional. In other words, if a person serves here in the 6th district, he or she can go in 14 without birth as a son of the parsonage, and they will not find any schism in terms of how the church become relational. There are folk outside of 14 through 20 that I have been an advocate for them for the past 20 years serving the general board, who feel disconnected with our church here. They feel the A.M.E. Church does not see them as a part. And I contend the future of our church is not ready here in America. We are landlocked. And if we're going to be serious about the growth of the church for the next 200 years, we have to make the connection to the church what it has to be. But we got to address issue of membership that are declining. And I believe one of the best ways to do it is to make sure every local church is engaged in the quarterly training of discipleship making. We know how to preach. We got great preachers, expositor of the word. And when we bring the folk through the front door with our preaching, we don't know how to keep them. So between the day they enter our church and we put them on the membership roll as new members to be trained, within 6 months before we get to the annual conference, they had taken the back row, because we do not have a discipleship training. So I contend we got to make the church to be connectional. And that's what the campaign is all about. First, we will release our local churches, invest into infrastructure, whatever it is. Every quadrennial, if the Episcopal District engages into some form of economic development, we will alleviate the burden on the back of the local church. It's not rocket scientists. You see that in your leader. You see across the connection church. But we need more bishops like this bishop that will bring about that change. And I'm one of them. I spent 20 years on the general board. Served on several committees. I've been an advocate for District 14 through 20. I got a lot of great friends. Some of them are your candidate. And I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be selfish. I know the math well. Not algebra. This is basic arithmetic. If you get Greg Easton and the other candidate elected, or you put them in the bottom, I don't have to take number 1 spot, because I know I don't deserve it. But if you put me somewhere between 4 and 5, any way you treat me, I'll be satisfied. Thank you, Bishop, for the opportunity. My name is Orlando McCauley. I'm your candidate for Episcopal service. I love this district because I love your bishops. They put me on number 5 or 6. Any way you treat me, I know I'll be satisfied. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. McCauley. Thank you so much for coming to be with us. Brothers and sisters, let's do this real quick. Those who are on the program for the service, come on up in the pulpit now. Let me do this. I'm going to do this real quick. Augusta Hall stand. Hayward White stand. President Ingram is already gone to Nashville. All of the members of Bethel Augusta, please stand. All right. I want to thank you all. You all have been absolutely awesome. You all and the rest of the Augusta Conference have been awesome in hosting this meeting. And I want to thank you because you all have it down pat. Y'all have made us feel at home. And y'all been smiling all week. But I know today you are really happy because we're going to be leaving. But thank you all for a job extremely well done. Give them a hand. You're welcome. I want to thank our Finance Committee, Garland Higgins, and Dr. Haithcote, please stand. Let me thank y'all. Y'all have done a superb job. Our director and our chair, thank you so much. Where's Regina? Is she up? She's outside. She never where I tell her to go. All right. Anyway, let me do this. Let me thank Regina. She and Reverend Higgins and them have worked so well together, and she harassed me on so much stuff for this, but did a wonderful job. And so y'all make sure y'all tell her that her father said thank you. She did a very fine job. All right. Now, well, let me do this first. Where is John Young? Where's your son? Trey Thomas, where you at? John Young and Trey Thomas, y'all come down here real quick. Look at him pushing this video. Look at it. Check him out. Y'all come out here. I just want to thank these two young brothers. Yes, right, and Brother Baker. Y'all have been on the case. Where's Brother Hibbert? Where's young Brother Hibbert? He back there. Y'all come on. I want you to know we've had some young people on this audio stuff this week. You all have been absolutely terrific. And I don't know, did we, Ms. Brown, were they on the payroll? They are? They are. Okay, we got to give them something. I want you to know, y'all, I'm proud of y'all. All right, I'm proud of y'all. And I want to see y'all at every meeting I got. All right? Thank y'all so much. Keep on working. All right, good. Thank you. Now I want all of the young folk. First of all, let me thank our music ministry. As usual, they've been superb. And now I want to thank the presiding elders and all for your support and help. They've done well. When I look at this crowd, the elders have done well. Y'all get the elders a hand. Now I want all of the young folk to stand. All of my young people who are here, will you please stand? All of my, not those who want to be young, but all of my young folk. If you are a teenager, a young adult, please stand. I want y'all to know y'all have made me so happy this week. We have had a record number of young people in attendance. They've been in their classes. They've been in their breakout sessions. They have made us proud to say they are AMEs. And I want y'all to know that this has been the best Christian Education Congress in the 7 years I've been in Georgia. So I want to thank you all for what you've done. Dr. Bernard Clark.
Good morning, Bishop. We certainly echo all of the sentiments that have gone before us. I'd like to ask all of the laity and the clergy from the Old Georgia Conference or the Georgia Annual Conference, would you stand wherever you are? Bishop, we would like to thank you for agreeing to be the keynote speaker on next Saturday in Savannah at the In-Market Arena for the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus. It's their 50th anniversary celebration, and they chose you because of your stance nationally, not only in the state, but nationally. They're soliciting our prayers, especially when one of our Democratic leaders swapped over to the Republican side on this week. So they're looking forward to you being there. I'd like to say that it will begin at 9 o'clock. All of the tickets are $50 each, and they can be purchased at the door. That will be next Saturday at the In-Market Arena in Savannah. We thank you, Bishop, for accepting 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
Thank you so much. I look forward to being there. Let me also say I want to thank the A.M.E. Ministerial Alliance and the Georgia Conference. I think Dr. Clark is the head. You all do a superb job in Savannah and Coffee County. You all are just simply superb, and I want to thank y'all for y'all's leadership. AMEs are the strongest influence down there. There are more Baptists, but AMEs have the majority influence, and I want to thank them. Give the Georgia Conference a hand. All right, now we're going to get ready for our closing service. And let us come. Y'all bring a little podium out here. And did I forget anything, Supervisor? All right. Thank you so much. All right, let's get ready for the service.